You're also talking about things like latent heat, climate tipping points, and positive feedback loops. We've had Guy McPherson on the show before. He talked a little bit about this, but you're keeping the discussion alive.
Absolutely. A good friend of ours, of Guy and mine, Paul Beckwith, he did an extraordinary video recently that is posted on YouTube. You can find it on there, no problem, where he's talked about tipping points, and at the same time he had a handsaw in his hand, and he was sawing away at a tree.
Yep.
And he sawed probably 80% or maybe 90% of the way through that tree before it started to tip. And that is exactly the situation that we're in now. For the last 150 years, we've been pouring carbon into the atmosphere, and it's only now that we've reached these tipping points where that carbon has created such a blanket of heat and insulation in the atmosphere above us that we're reaching all of these tipping points. On Guy McPherson's blog, which you can find at guymcpherson.com, he has a monster climate change essay which has in it 50 positive feedback loops.
50?
There are 50, and it's extraordinary. If you go and have a look at the editing, that in the last probably year, it's probably gone from 15 to 50.
Yeah, because that's why I sounded so surprised. Last year, talking with Guy, I think he was talking about 23 to 28 or something, and so now it's doubled.
Absolutely. If anyone has any trouble understanding or believing, comprehending what I'm about to tell you, I suggest that they Google the exponential function and see how quickly things spiral out of control once you've passed all these tipping points.
The exponential function.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, people in economics should understand that because they work in exponentials. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's one of the greatest problems that humans have comprehending how things change so quickly. We all look at things as being a linear process where things get bad and you just follow that line in a linear way. But the fantastic Michael E. Mann, probably one of the world's leading climate scientists, him and some of his colleagues came up with a theory called hockey stick theory. And if you Google Michael E. Mann and hockey stick, you'll see where once it gets to a certain point, it just ramps up. And we believe that we're in a time now of abrupt climate change. And science hasn't fully accepted yet that we are there. And the problem is that the science community, A, is extraordinarily conservative. And then B, they spend their whole life looking in the rear vision mirror. And because of that conservatism, they're not prepared to say what they think might happen tomorrow without any huge commitment. But they talk to a large degree of where we're at now and what happened yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It is very conservative. And is that because they are, whether they're conservative in nature or not, it's sort of the safe kind of place to be? Yeah. Like nothing is.
That's exactly what they do. Michael Mann, when he came out, and his team, I have to qualify that it was a team effort. When he came out with the hockey stick, he was attacked from left, right, and centre. And we only found out afterwards that a lot of the attacks that were launched against him were funded by trolls from the fossil fuel industry. And we see this where you can see in the United States that the Republican Party is effectively still a climate change denier party.
Yeah.
But they are just starting to make a transition now to where they know the game is up. They can't keep that charade up anymore. And what they're saying now is that, climate change is here, but it's not that bad.
Yeah.
The message that people like myself, Guy McPherson, and Paul Beckwith have to tell people is that it is exponential, it is abrupt, and it is bearing down on us like a freight train.